what's the style?
Hello, everyone. We are going to take another journey through the Enchanted spreads. The Enchanted spreads are meant to hit in on the harsher points of life, and they give us a purpose to go through with the story that it tells. So this gives you some fairy tale and some folklore and binds it all together for you. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and start our Enchanted spread. We start here in the fairy tales, and first thing that comes out is the fairy ointment. Now, this is a story all about sight, okay? And about the things that we may take from other people and the expectations we may have and how it all sort of balances out. Now, in this story, just like many other stories, fairies can be deceptive creatures, and you should never take from the fairies, as there's always some sort of harsher lesson that goes along with it. Now, here in this story, there was a woman who was a healer. And an older man came and knocked at her door and let her know that he needed her help. This older man was that of a fairy, and his wife could not take care of herself or her newborn. So he asked for the healer to come. Now, typically the healer would say, nah, this isn't something I really want to do right now. But this case, she went ahead and went. When she went, she seen that the woman was telling her husband, hey, I need you to rub this ointment on the baby's eyelids so every morning when they wake up. Now, this was fairy ointment, and this was very special. Okay, it helped these people and gave them treasures and riches that others would not know, but this was exclusive to the fairies. The woman being in awe when the man wiped the baby's eyes and the healing properties that it had, she too, out of curiosity, just took a swipe and wiped her eye. Suddenly, she was seeing things in ways she had never seen them before, the riches and the joys of life that she never saw. The way that she viewed the world was completely different. She could see beauty in things that she couldn't see before. She could see the potential and opportunities in things that she couldn't before. But the thing was, she was skewing her vision from what was hers and what was fairy. She ended up going to go ahead to pack up to leave after helping the woman and using the ointment, and wanted to go ahead about her night. The man stopped her and thanked her for all of her time and her energy, and he paid her heftily. And it was more coins than she had ever had before. She went home and, happy with her newfound not only riches but sight, she was like, I want to celebrate this. So she went out and she took what she had and she went out to the market to go shop. There she ran into the man. And she waved at him and seeing that he was picking all the fruits and he didn't need to pay for anything. It seemed like just abundance was around him. When she waved at him, the man looked at her startled and taken aback and said, how can you see me? And she said, because I used the ointment. And he goes, well, with what eye did you use the ointment? And she proudly said, now that she knew all the same things he knew and had all the knowledge she had, she figured, hey, we're in on this secret together. And she tells him the right eye, and he strikes her right eye out. The lesson here was harsh and cruel, but she took without asking. This man had already chose to pay her with all of the riches she could think of. But because she wanted something that she didn't know, she wanted to try something she didn't know the properties of or what came with it, and she didn't ask. She got treated with the way that this fairy felt she should. He dealt with her in his own way. Again, do not take from the pig. Do not take from people who you're not supposed to. The story in this is very harsh, but it is one that is full of lessons here. If you are doing something with a certain intention, do it with that pure intention. Don't take from someone that you think may not need. Don't do things that you know may have some sort of effect in the after effect. And she knew exactly who she was dealing with when she came, but she chose to do something anyways. This brings us to our Alice card, which is Never Jam Today. And Never Jam Today is the portion of the story when Alice was talking to the Red Queen, and she said there's no jam tomorrow, and there's no jam today, but you should have had jam yesterday or tomorrow. And she goes, well, does that mean I'll never get jam if I was supposed to have it yesterday and I can't have it tomorrow and I can't have it today? When can I have the jam? Alice didn't care anymore about what the Red Queen was saying and how she chose to be vicious with what she wanted. She said, I'm going to do my own thing and go about it my own way because maybe I can find that validation. Here, if this woman had just went about things in her own way and taken her own time and found her value in her own lesson, she would have taken something that wasn't hers. She would have still had those wonderful riches. She would have still been sought after this fairy, and they would have been willing to give, but she took some things that weren't hers. And you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm doing? What am I contributing to a cause? What am I not paying attention to? What is not truly mine? Find those lessons there and understand what you're contributing to them. Understand what you can do something about and what you can't. Understand how you have to live here in the here and now and appreciate the life that you have and what's given to you, and not worry about tomorrow, what's to come, or the potential of this and that. Live in the now. Be here, be present, and hold yourself accountable for the things that you want, and hold others accountable when they have wronged you or they have taken something from you without asking. You have to make these decisions and not live off of empty words or empty threats from other people or how other people may perceive you or be. You need to be you. You need to not worry about what someone else has. And a lot of times we get scared by the things that we see, the possessions that other people hold, the value that they seem to have in their life. And we're like, we want it, but we have no idea how hard it was for them to get. Which brings us to the Poe story here of how the man had jumped from the sea to go finish his ambitions on a different ship, but even that ship was sinking too. Okay, so even here, this is another purpose, another story of, hey, I may not be able to get what I want from here, but let me go and still finish my journey. Maybe it's somewhere that's different. Maybe it's something that I'm not expecting or that I'm wanting. You have to put your hopes and your visions into you. You have to thrive to create your legacy. Even though this man jumped that ship, he still wrote out what he wanted. He wrote his whole story, and everyone got to know who he was. He became a legend of sorts. But that was him holding true to him and not following someone else's visions or what someone else had and someone else's expectations. So when these cards come to you, I want to encourage you to focus on yourself. I want you to focus on growing your own vision and focusing on your purpose and not worrying and falling into alignment of what everyone else has. Not paying attention to empty words or empty values, appreciating the life that you're given, appreciating the sight that you have. Sometimes we're so worried about taking from another plate that we don't realize the blessings that we can have or what we can build in ourselves instead of looking towards others. Oh, this is just a beautiful spread. That'll help you if you're in some sort of ways about this. And remember to stay empowered in yourself. Work on that solar plexus worth and believe what you can do. I hope all of this energy definitely helps, and I cannot wait to see you all next week for another bout of Enchanted Spreads. Don't forget to check out all of our podcasts and our shows, and I'll see you next week.
Now what's this